Hey guys, Ruprect here. I wanted to make a quick video just kind of walking through the Focusrite Scarlett 8i6. I've been using this interface for a few months. Brandon gave it to me as a gift for all my hard work and dedication. So I wanted to show you guys. It's a great interface for anyone who's in the market for something that's not real expensive, but it's still pretty good. So I'm actually been really impressed by the quality of this thing for what it costs. Okay, so here's the box. Let's just take a look at the front panel here. This thing is just dirt simple, so I really like it for keeping it in my bedroom, just to kind of do my own thing with. I don't track a whole lot of bands in there. If I do track a lot of bands, I'll do it upstairs, but where we have, all of our stuff up there. But for my bedroom, this is perfect. Okay, so it's really simple. Basically, you just have a XLR 1/4 inch combo, 2 of those, and you got a freaking gain for each one. Super simple, and then you got your phantom power for both of these guys. You have your monitor level, and then you have your headphone level. So super simple on the front. One headphone jack. It'd be nice to have 2, but hey, whatever. Can't complain for the price. Okay, and then on the back, here we have SPDIF in, SPDIF out. I really like the SPDIF in because what I do with my pod when I'm recording guitars is I'll go into one of the front XLR 1/4 inch combo jacks with a wet signal from the pod, and then I can set the SPDIF out on my pod to be dry, and then I go into this guy dry, and I record them both at the same time, so I can monitor with the good sounds, and then if I'm unhappy with it for whatever reason, I can reamp later. So that's really nice. Then you got your power, you get your MIDI out, MIDI in, USB 2.0. So that's been good. The latency is much better than just using the pod as an audio interface, so I've been pretty happy with that. And then we have 4 line outputs for your monitors or reamping or whatever you want to do. And then you have 2 additional line inputs there. So all in all, it's really simple. You control the level of basically everything with the exception of these 2 XLR 1/4 inch combos. You control all that with the mix control software. So one thing I didn't mention, and you probably noticed, there's no pads on these guys, so that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, you control the level of all those line inputs and outputs via the mix control, which is really cool. I'm glad that that's in there. So for like $200, you can't go wrong with this. I haven't tried a tremendous amount of interfaces in that price range, but at this point, I don't really need to. This guy does everything I want it to for my own personal uses, and anything else that I have to do or for clients, we do that on Brandon's rig. But speaking of the preamps, I would be just fine working with someone overdubbing vocals or something on these preamps. They're just fine. I don't get incredibly wound up about that unless they sound unless it's really noticeable that they're messing the sound up, and these preamps are pretty good. I can't complain about them. I'll have some clips in my full review of this unit, so if you want to check the description, it'll link back to that review, and I'll have a couple clips that we did a little shootout between the Rane MS1B and I think it was a Tascam. It was some Tascam unit that our intern has, and something else. But yeah, after you EQ them all, it's just kind of it wasn't that big of a deal. So anyways, guys, if you're in the market, for a new cheap interface, something that's portable, I'd highly suggest checking out one of the Scarlett ranges. They're really nice. And that's something I didn't really mention. This thing is pretty small. So I have really small hands. I'm like a little hobbit guy. So this thing's small, and a lot of times what I do whenever I go to teach in the afternoons, I teach in this like tiny little room. There's no internet connection, so a lot of times what I do, if I have any gaps in my schedule, and I'm just sitting there waiting for a student to show up, I'll take this and my laptop and just start jamming out down there and recording ideas and stuff. But it's small enough that it's not like a major pain in the ass to move it around and do that. I mean, it takes like a minute for me to pull out my laptop, this, and then plug it in. Probably less than that. So anyways, I'm rambling now, but yeah, the build quality of this guy is just fine, and I have no complaints about this interface other than it doesn't have a pad. But for the price range, I'm thoroughly satisfied with this. So if you guys are in the market, check it out. All right, Ruprect out. Bah!